Welcome back to Classic Firearms. I'm Brandon, and today we have Matt with us.
What's up, everybody?
And we're going to be talking about the Star Model 30 Ms. And Matt is our resident surplus expert, I would call you.
Expert question mark, but sure, yeah.
So I will let you kind of take the reins, but first we'll kind of go through like what we think are the tech specs on this, what we know are the tech specs on it, and then we're going to verify some of those at the end. We're actually going to weigh them, measure them, and actually get you some details, some hard numbers on, well, they're all going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because they're,
Because they're surplus, and that's the fun of surplus.
Exactly. And then we'll kind of talk tip to butt and see what we got. So go ahead and jump right on in.
Yep, so the Star Model 30M is a variation of the Star Model 30, which is a development from the Star Model 28. Now, the cool thing about the Star Model 28 is that it was Star's first original design. Before that, Star produced a lot of kind of replications of other pistols, famously variations of the 1911, like the Star Model B and the Star Model BM. Now, this is what we would call kind of a Wonder 9, so it's a double stack 9mm, all metal frame and slide, and it has a 15-round double stack magazine. In the case, you're going to get 2 of those magazines, and it's a traditional single action, double action style design. What that means, and we're just going to double check the safety here. So you're going to cycle the slide and have that cocked hammer for, if you are loading around, but if you were to decock it, your first trigger pull will cock and release the hammer, double action. And then as the slide cycles during operation, it's going to cock that hammer. And so every subsequent shot is going to be single action, which is, of course, a very nice light trigger pull.
Oh, yeah. And I did want to mention as well, there is a magazine safety. So you can't drop the hammer with the magazine not in it.
Magazine cutoff. Now, the safety mechanism it uses is kind of a retracting of the firing pin or the firing pin extension. So you'll notice that with the safety engaged, we still can actuate the hammer. However, in this case, the firing pin extension is actually being retracted away so that it's not being struck by the hammer. It's about 3 pounds in weight, is my understanding. We're going to verify that in a little bit. And it is basically full size. It's got about 4¼ inch barrel. It's pretty hefty, but again, when you think about like controlling, rapid fire a 9mm, a little bit of weight's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
I think that the sights are really nice. You do have a front sight that's molded right there into the slide, and it's got a recess that can be painted. Now, some of these will not have paint due to age,
and some of them, the sights themselves, they have kind of like your reddish sights, which I have here. Some of them also have the white painted dots, and then beyond that, some of them they may not appear as. They may be a little bit dirty, or they may be a little bit worn down, so they may not quite be there as much.
Now, the rear sight is a replaceable notch, which makes me think that it's basically kind of adjustable by changing the insert.
Yeah.
So you have the ability to make maybe some adjustments there, different height sights or something. Obviously, those replacement parts might be kind of hard to find at this point. We're talking about production date for the 30M of about 1983 through 1994, so about a 10-year period. The Model 30, which this is the 30M is the military kind of variation of, was around 1981, and the Star Model 28 started production sometime in the early 70s. In fact, really cool story, it competed for an Air Force trials in 1977 to replace the revolvers that they were using and lost to the Beretta 92.
Who was using?
The Air Force, the U.S. Air Force.
The U.S. Air Force. Okay, I was just curious, because I know there's some Spanish markings on here.
Well, so these are 100% made in Spain by Star. So we didn't even mention it. So these are Spanish pistols. Star is a well-known Spanish company for copying other designs, but again, this was their original design. So, I think it's a really cool, ambi safety is a great feature for left-handed people.
Yeah, definitely helps. And I know there are a couple things I wanted to point out. So the Model 28 that you're speaking of, there's a couple of upgrades they made, because that was their, I did not know until like right now that was their first original design. I did not know that. But the 28s, they had a very thick, chunky slide. And on the 30s and 30Ms, they actually kind of chamfered that down just a little bit, making it a little bit lighter up front, also a little bit sleeker. It gives it kind of a cool look. And it does help you be able to grab those serrations just a little better.
Having said that, the serrations on this compared to modern pistols kind of suck. You can see it's a very small area of serrations. There's no upfront serrations. It's just right here. And like you said, if we have the safety forward in the firing position, it's in the way.
Yep. So having this little notch right here is quite useful, because now I can actually grab that very, very confidently, at least more so than if it was just completely flat. And then also, so some of the grips are different. Now you can talk to what is found in certain batches. However, this one here is a rubber one. I believe that one is too. Yep. Some of the early model ones, because in the 28 they used plastic, just like straight plastic ones, and then they kind of switched it out later on, halfway through, towards the end, actually more like it, to more of a rubberized plastic, and then that carried through to the next models after that.
And you'll see variation in the overall design. So both of these have fully checkered grips all the way back to the back strap. Some of them we've seen kind of have more like serrations on this back edge here, so it's just horizontal lines. So again, with any surplus firearm, you can definitely expect there to be variation due to changes in specification over time, or even maybe the use of earlier parts. So like you might find a pistol that had Model 28 grips, even though this is a Model 30.
Yeah.
As far as the kind of action and design of the firearm, so this is a locking breech gun, recoil operated, and it is based off of a Browning design, but not the 1911. It's based off of something like a high power. So this, unlike a 1911, it has a little barrel link below the barrel. This is a linkless locking barrel design.
It's kind of like a a high power that feels like a 1911.
Okay, sure. But there are also elements of it that are similar to some other modern pistols. So the way the slide interacts with the frame is similar to a CZ75. So hopefully you can kind of see here that
we'll get some B-roll for sure.
The slide actually rides inside of rails from the frame. So you can see on the slide, it kind of wraps and points outward, and the rails from the frame come up and wrap inward. That's the opposite of what you can expect from, say, a 1911, where here, the slide wraps around the outside of those rails. And so the rails for the slide curve in, and the slide rails from the frame curve and point out. So opposites.
Fair enough, fair enough. I think that's pretty much most of the notes that I had on the particular Star pistol. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, again, keep in mind that these are military/law enforcement pistols. The 30M specifically was used by the Navy and Army of the Spanish, as well as police organizations in Spain and Peru. In fact, there is a marking that I would like to show you here. It's a GC right down here on the frame. And that is for the Guardia Civile, which is basically a national police organization of the Spain.
Now, I noticed there's also a 90 on there. Does that have any significance, just out of curiosity?
So I'm not sure what that... So on this one, for instance, it says 93, so that's likely to be a year of manufacture. Again, they were produced from about 1983 through 1994. Sorry, yeah, 1983 through 1984. So it's likely just like a year of manufacture.
Fair enough. Well, I'm gonna grab that scale and we'll pop it up on the table and continue out while we weigh them.
Absolutely.
All right, scales on the table. Matt, let's go ahead and start with your gun. Let's see how much it weighs.
Let's take a look here. So this is
with the mag in.
With the mag empty.
So they can see it, we can't. Let's see what it is. Wow, you were almost right on the money. 2.35 pounds.
There you go.
Actually a little lighter. So probably with rounds, you're gonna be looking right at that 3 pound mark. And then just out of curiosity, so there's two samples. 2.50. Mine's a little bit chunkier.
Yeah, a little bit. Which is interesting because I don't see any difference in like the grips.
I don't either.
So it's interesting that there could be that much variation just, as a result of milling two pieces of metal.
I actually found out in a video previously when we did some weighing of guns, the Glock 19X was lighter than the Glock 19, and it had a bigger mag, the mag extension, and like taller sights.
That's totally unexpected.
Right, so that's pretty much what I'm getting right here. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead. You got the measuring tape over there. I'll hold the gun if you want to give us some measurements of that.
All right, so
We'll
I'm going to measure on the back first, and then, so this, if we go all the way to the back of the kind of grip extension, it's 8 inches almost exactly in length. And then looking here at height, kind of, right about 5.5 inches in height going to the top of the sight. So right there. So if we just go here to the back of the barrel,
Okay.
and we'll see that it's right at 4.25 inches. Now that's not how the specification for measuring barrel length is.
Yeah.
In that case, you should put a rod down the barrel until it stops at a breech face, and then mark that, and then measure the marked area.
Fair.
So it's not like the ATF's approved method, but 4.25 inches is a good workable measurement.
That's pretty much what you're getting. Okay, now on for the final one. We'll use your gun for this example. Okay. We're gonna do the trigger pull because I am curious. We're going ahead, actually, let me get rid of the scale real quick so we can push it down on the table and actually get some leverage on. I'll be right back. All right, got the trigger pull gauge here. Matt, if you go ahead and push down and hold that secure for me. I'm gonna do my best to get in there. Let's see. You wanna do it with hammer cocked and then double action? Or you wanna do?
I mean, I figured we'd do it the other way around, but either way, it's fine with me.
Okay. Get that in there in 3, 2. 3.64. That's actually heavier than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Let's try it one more time. In 3, 2. 3.26.
Okay.
Pretty consistent, right at the 3. That means that double action is going to be like 8, 9 up there.
It might be higher than that. Let's take it. We can try it out.
All right. Let's see this. Yep. In 3, 2. Oh, it's going to be hard to pull. 9.41.
Yeah.
And we'll do it one more time for verification. 3, 2. Yeah, 9.34.
Okay, pretty
so
close, yeah.
Right up there in that 9-pound mark.
Now, I will say that, I mean, over 9 pounds is not a light trigger. However, it is, I mean, for something that's been used and stuff, it's got a pretty smooth trigger, right? So,
Yeah.
of course, all of that previous use and history behind it does mean that a lot of these parts have had a chance to kind of smooth out. And so you have a little bit of what you can kind of think of as like, I guess,
Take up.
yeah. So, you got, it's hard for me to do this while showing the camera. So, you got a little take up here, and it's pretty smooth. It's not gritty or jerky, really. You can pretty much press straight back pretty well.
And then in the single action, there's just a little bit of take up that you can see right there. And then I hit that wall and then just pull right through and it's
Just really crisp.
yeah. And this one, again, just to give you a different example, is very smooth. I had to push quite hard for that, but yeah, we got there.
And that goes true for other parts of the action of the gun too. Like when you pull the slide back, it's it's worn in a sense that it's not got the roughness of a new firearm, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I will admit, some of the firearms that I see that are older, that we use that are older, they definitely are gritty and they're kind of rough around the edges sometimes. And while these may look a little bit on the worn in side, because they are surplus guns, so you do see the worn in portions of it, it's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Like this would be a good shooter.
And of course, there's going to be a lot of variation in the exterior cosmetic wear because, one gun may have sat in a storage closet for extended periods of time,
Yeah.
just not been touched. Others might have been in and out of a holster as a daily carry for an officer or something and show a lot more exterior wear.
And I think, so yeah, yours has more wear. Mine actually has some scratches on it. What rating would you give these? So in the world of surplus, you have like bad, then you have like bad to good, then you have like good, then good to great.
Sure. So we don't want to call anything bad, but poor, right? And so there's kind of poor and good, very good, excellent, and near mint or like new condition. So
Yeah.
these are graded as good condition firearms. So that generally indicates that there is going to be a fully functioning firearm. There may be not pitting, but there could be surface rust, although I have not seen any on any of these pistols.
Yeah.
There can be a fairly substantial amount of cosmetic wear to the finish, and it will have, if there are any replacement parts, they would be appropriate replacement parts, so they should be from the same model. Although again, like I said, I think that there's the possibility of getting, say, like a Model 28 grip as an example.
Yeah, so like a plastic grip versus a rubberized grip.
But again, it will be a fully complete and functioning firearm.
Fair enough. Yeah, and I just kind of checked even on some of the internals and the screws and stuff. There's no rust on this particular one. But any other notes that we can think of?
No, other than the fact that, again, if you're looking for something that's got a lot of really cool kind of history and it's not just something that's soulless, brand new, off the shelf, I think that while given the size and weight of it, it's not necessarily a daily concealed carry gun. I definitely think that this makes a great self-defense gun. 15 rounds of 9mm, no matter the fact that it's a bit of an aged platform, is a fantastic tool for self-defense.
And how many people are going to have the Model 30M?
That's right.
Not many. And you won't see that at the range again.
And when you throw in the fact that you're holding a pistol that could have serviced a Spanish Army or Navy or police officer, there's a cool history aspect to it as well. I think that they make cool collector pieces while still remaining, to this day, an extremely functional, practical firearm for just being a firearm.
Fair enough. Well, that's pretty much all that we have for you guys today. So if you have any experiences with any of the Star pistols, the 28, the 30, the 31, or the 30M in particular, please leave a review down below. We would love to see your comments. I know I'll be down there answering your questions. I don't know if Matt will be
I put
down
my
there.
head in every now and then.
Every once in a while. If you see something from him, you're lucky. So yes, we would love to see your comments there. And without further ado, that's all I have for you guys today. God bless. Stay safe. It is time to end. You want to go shoot these things now?
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome job.